All right, so the first thing we're going to do to get your wheel set up for this particular application is we're going to start with the Z-axis. The Z-axis is the axis that your actual diamond wheel is mounted on. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this dial and we're going to drive this until the camera has it in the center. All right, so as you can see, we've driven it pretty close to center. What we're going to do is we're going to come in here and we're going to snap a measurement line with the point to point right here. So we're going to take from the side of the wheel at the very point, and we're going to drag to the center, which you can see we have about 3.262. Your wheel's about 6.4. That's about dead on center. So what we're going to do now is move on from this to setting up the actual angle. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to drive the x-axis back away so we don't hit anything. That's far enough. We're going to unlock our b-axis, and then we're going to rotate over to 45 degrees. After we've rotated over to 45 degrees, we're going to bring the x-axis back in until the wheel is in focus. You'll notice that the cover interferes, so you kind of want to be somewhere in this area for this particular application. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to take the U-axis and bring it in, and then we're going to use the position adjust on the bottom down here to drive the wheel to the right until we see it in the frame of the camera. All right. So now we see the wheel in the frame of the camera. We're going to come in with the U-axis until we're very close, not quite touching. You don't want to quite touch when you're first starting. And we're going to set our wheel. If we set our wheel to about the center of this, if it's the edges sit about to the center of that line right there, then when we turn it on, we're gonna be pretty close to centered as far as dressing goes. So if we can increase our working width where we clear it to both sides. That's a little bit much. We can turn it down a little bit. Now, if you move the position adjust while it's doing this, it'll move in very small increments in whichever direction you push it. You can see we're clearing on both sides now. All right, so now we're going to increase this U-axis until we touch. Every full revolution of this U-axis is 1 millimeter. So what we're going to do is about 0.02 millimeter per in feed. We're just going to nibble away at it slowly. So once we touch, you can see we got sparks right there. So we're touching now. So now I'm going to turn on my dust collection, and then I'm going to slowly infeed at about 0.02 until we get the desired shape. So now we've kind of reached our desired shape on that side of the wheel. So what we're going to do is we're going to press the stop button. Your wheel's going to move to the center, so we need to drive it to the left so we have clearance to get everything off and switch the wheel over to the other side. All right, so to get this wheel cover off, we just got one 8mm screw back here. Just gonna pop it off. It's retained in place with an O-ring. off. There is a sensor on the back of this. If it is not on properly, it will not allow the machine to work. So what we're going to do is we're just going to take this wheel, we're going to do this. Flip around the other way. As you notice, we have one spacer right here. What I'll do is I'll leave everything assembled in the way that we've run it here. That way you're just ready to go whenever you take it out of the box. This one. Put our wheel guard back on. And there is a little green indicator lamp on the sensor on the back right here that tells you when it's on and when it's positioned correctly. All right, so anytime you remove the wheel cover on the back, this reset button is going to flash. You have to reset before it will let you do anything. Okay, so and we just flipped the wheel. We're still dead center. We're pretty close to where we need to be. The only thing I'm going to do is drive this pretty close. I'm going to back this U axis out just a little bit so we're not touching. We're going to put the wheel in the center right there again. We're going to hit the start button. Make sure that we're still clearing on both sides. So I'm not quite on the right, so I need to go just a little bit to the right. Clearing there, clearing there. All right, then we turn our dust collection on and feed in our U axis at 0.02. All right, so as you can see, we've achieved our point. We got it dead in the center, and we're good to go. So that's a quick tutorial on how to do what you're doing with it.